All right, next up we have Tobias Eigen, and he is going to be talking about Africa. His talk is titled, Africa is Not a Country.
Great. Well, thank you very much. So we're going to go from local to somewhere else altogether. My goal in the next 5 minutes is to remind you that Africa is not a country. And, oh, all right, well, I guess I'm done. It's already there. You don't need a reminder. No, actually, I want to talk about this because it's something that matters a lot to me. It's very important to me. I have an international background. I grew up with German parents. I was born in Washington, D.C., but we spent a lot of time in Germany. We also spent a lot of time in Africa, in Botswana, in Kenya, and I graduated from high school in Kenya. I spent my babyhood in Botswana. My first language was Setswana. My first friends were Botswana. And in the years in between, I was in Washington, D.C., and my father, who worked for the World Bank, my mother was a doctor, we were very engaged with Africa. It was constantly a discussion topic at the dinner table. There were many Africans at our dinner table. And so when I graduated from high school in Kenya and went back to the States to go to university, I was pretty surprised to find how how little people knew about Africa. And I had people showing me atlases and asking me where South Africa begins. They were surprised that it can be cold in Africa, that there's snow in Africa. And that continues on until today, right? And we still see politicians, the media, activists presenting one vision of Africa, which is just Black Africa. We have Africa, India, and other developing countries. We have Africa as a country in crisis. We hear this all the time. So why does this matter, right? I mean, on a very personal level, I want you all to realize that if you see Africa as a country, you're missing out, right? By simplifying Africa, stereotyping it into one vision, by glossing over all the diversity, you are missing out on an incredible wealth of knowledge, interesting things that you could be learning about the deserts, about the mountains, about the rivers, lakes, about the different cultures. There are 1,000 different languages in Africa. Imagine that, 1,000 different languages. You have 54 countries in Africa. So that's one reason, right? You're missing out on something yourself. The second thing is that by looking at it that way, politicians and activists and organizations like Invisible Children, they are not helping because they are they're not giving the Africans the identity that they deserve. The same. We just talked about how great Bainbridge Island is, how weird it can be here, how wonderful and unique our community is. All right, Africa has got, what is it, more than a billion inhabitants. Right, these are all unique individuals, wonderful people, and by focusing on the one image of Africa, which tends to be the starving Black African, we are missing out on an opportunity to really contribute and to help out, to give the Africans that we want to help, that we do care about, the support they need. And once you do that, you think about, wow, and then you also add on the internet to that, and social media. We have access to a whole new realm of opportunities to get involved with this new knowledge, with this new place, and to look for local people who are in their communities, just like here on Bainbridge Island, who are looking to make their communities a better place. And you can invest in those people. You can ask them about their business plans, watch their videos about themselves, about how they're telling their stories. Good places to start might be Global Giving, Kabisa, the organization I started. And not to hurry, I wanted to make the main point, which is that I want you to also help me this is a hashtag, right? If you use Twitter, you can you can use this hashtag to let me know when you encounter somebody using Africa as a country, or tell me anecdotes. I'm curious. And if somebody tells you, you're in conversation and somebody tells you Africa is a country, then just stop them, interrupt them, and say, "Hey, dude, come on! You know, Africa is not a country; it's a continent."
Right. Thank you, Tobias.